What's up, Journeymore? Today I'm going to be going over the 10 essential steps to follow when you're hiking alone. If you enjoy outdoor content, especially hiking, kayaking, camping, different things like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. We'd love for you to be a part of the Journeymore community. Make sure you like the video. Let's get started.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.
Now, first off, when you're hiking alone, this is really only for the experienced. So if you're new to hiking or you've never really done any backpacking trips or many long hikes, this is not for you. Make sure you've got somebody going with you just in case anything were to happen. But our first tip is choose a trail that is highly trafficked and that is well maintained. So what that means is a trail that's going to have a lot of people on it that are going through it throughout the days, and then also a trail that's very well blazed out, meaning you can see the trail clearly from beginning to end. Second tip is make sure that you tell somebody where you're going, what you'll be doing, and when you'll be back. So a really cool feature of the All Trails Pro version is that you can actually do what's called a lifeline, and you can stick in your information of where you're at, how far you're going to be going, what you're going to be doing, when you're supposed to be back. And if you're not back at that location, because the All Trails app uses a GPS, if you're not back at that location at that time, it'll actually send a message to somebody that you choose and let them know, hey, this person has not reached their destination yet, which is going to allow them to go out and help you if needed. So make sure you tell somebody your plan if you're going to go out. And then the third tip is you got to make sure that you got proper clothing and proper gear for whatever it is that you're doing. If you're doing a day hike, make sure you've got the 10 essentials. You can jump on over to our how to start hiking video if you want to see those, or you can jump on over to our what to pack for a day hike video to see what you should bring on those day hikes. If you're doing overnight treks, make sure that you've got the proper gear such as tent, emergency kits, food, water filter, because you can't bring enough water in order to have for those trips. And so make sure that you've got things like that. We'll do a video here soon that outlines everything that you'll need for a backpacking trip and what that looks like. But look it up if you need some help. There's plenty of resources out there to show you what you need to bring, what you need to have for those multiple day trip. Now the fourth tip is you've got to stay within your limits. You know you best. So make sure that you're not choosing a trek that is far longer than what you've normally done or far harder than what you've normally done. If you've never done an overnight backpacking trip, don't go out and do your first overnight backpacking trip alone. The fifth tip is you gotta check the weather. If you're doing a day hike, then you can check the weather for that area where that hike is. You'll be good to go. You can prep for that. If you're doing an overnight trek though, and you're doing multiple days, maybe even up to a week or 2 weeks or longer than that, you don't just need to check the weather for where you're starting. You've got to check the weather for the surrounding areas, where you will be going and where you'll end. That way you can pack everything necessary for whatever the weather throws at you. The other thing that you got to make sure on is weather up at the top of a mountain is very different from weather at the bottom of a mountain. So you've got to prep for that too. And then the sixth tip, check in at the ranger station, let them know who you are, what you're doing, and let them know where you'll be ending, and then let them know I'll come back through and say hi, let you know that I'm done with my trek. Now the seventh tip is you've got to know the environment that you'll be in. So this is in case you run into a rattlesnake or a bear, some kind of dangerous animal, you know what to do in order to get out of that situation. And then also knowing the different types of plants that are around you, those that are poisonous, those that aren't poisonous and that are edible. If you need some kind of food, maybe you're stuck somewhere and you've got to kind of be in a survival situation. So knowing these things can be honestly life or death if you are in that type of survival situation. The number 8 tip is, and this might be a little controversial to some of you that do hike alone, don't wear headphones. I know a lot of people like to listen to music, they like to listen to podcasts, different things like that while they're hiking, but the problem with that is you have no awareness of your surroundings. Something could sneak up on you, you could run into something without knowing it, so don't wear headphones when you're hiking alone. This is especially important for women. I know there's a lot of women out there like to hike alone, but for your safety, not just against animals, but from people too, it's just making sure that you're aware of what's going on around you so that you can react properly. Now, the 9th tip is stick to the path always. Don't ever take a path that's not traveled, that's not well maintained. Don't ever go off the trail. Always stick to it. You never know where some place could lead and if it's even part of the path at all. So always stick to the path. And then number 10, our last one, is you've got to trust your instincts. If you've got that feeling in your gut to do or not to do something, make sure you follow that. Human beings have been created with the ability to foresee things before they happen. That's your gut. That's that instinct that's in you that's telling you what you need to do in order to protect you and others around you. So if you're alone, trust your instincts. All in all, make sure that you consider all 10 of these before and while you're hiking alone. And then also just think about what could possibly happen if you are hiking alone. If you go out there and you get lost or you get stuck and somebody has to come rescue you, such as a rescue team, that actually costs you money. So even if you get out safely, there's going to be repercussions to that. Now, there are some types of insurances that will protect against that, but I don't know much about it. You'll have to look into that yourself, but there's no guarantee that they're going to find you anyway. So really, we here at Journey More, we're going to recommend that you always have somebody when you're going hiking. We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope it was helpful and it was some good things for you guys to be thinking about. Maybe not just for yourself, but some other people that you know that hike alone. So make sure you share these tips with them. If you want to check out our how to start hiking video or what to pack for a day hike video, we'll have those up here. You can check those out. Again, we'd love for you to subscribe and be a part of the Journey More community. Come journey more with us, and we'll see you next time.